Hey, everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, we're going to be breaking down the latest totals from this weekend's box office. Avengers Infinity War, does it take the crown yet again? And what about Overboard? How's that movie doing? We'll talk about that and more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Box Office Breakdown. Of course, this is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we like to...
Yay! Thanks for joining in.
About the box office that lie ahead, I'm Frank Moran.
I'm Kari Lane. Sorry, I was looking for my breakdown, which is not there.
No, that's, yep. That is not existing there. You're welcome.
I am Amy Cassandra Martinez.
Neil Plumley, what's up?
Woo, look at that. Folks, you know what you can do? You can like us on Facebook. Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give it a thumbs up while you're there. Or 2, or 3, or 8.
Because we have fun on this show.
That's right. Look at that. Look how much fun we're having right here. And if you're watching after we've streamed live, Kari, what can they do?
You can comment down below. Sorry, I was just looking at the numbers. I'm like, I'm not liking the order. But that's okay.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to jump right into the top 5. Guys, I don't know if you know this. Avengers Infinity War surprisingly won for a 3rd week in a row.
It did.
Not surprised.
Shocking.
Yeah, not surprised.
Came in at $61.8 million, down another 46%. Neil, how are you feeling about this? Now, of course, they said that this could fluctuate from like 2 to 4 million when we get the final results in tomorrow.
Right.
So this could pass $550 million come Monday, possibly.
It could. It's still just, parsecs behind where The Force Awakens was at the same pace. But we sort of discussed this. The Force Awakens came out, around the same time that, we were seeing like Oscar plays and like big like award moves coming out around the same time. So it had a lot more runway, a lot more freedom to play around with people going to see it maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the holiday season and then onward.
Thank you. That's the big one I was going to chime in. Quite a few of you left comments that The Force Awakens had holiday traffic, which makes a big difference of
It does.
how many people are going.
It does.
And we do have a live chat, so if you are watching this live, feel free to join us on the YouTube live chat. We will.
Oh, look at
Thank
that.
you.
That's Steve in the booth, everybody, making us look good and sound even better.
Yeah.
Anthony's dead to us. Forget that
He died?
guy. Sorry.
To us.
Ah.
Just kidding. He's
alive
good
and
people. but yeah, we sort of discussed this earlier, like whether it is a juggernaut for sure, but whether it's a juggernaut enough to do the same that Force Awakens did, but in a very saturated distribution space, which is tough. And it only had a few weeks to really like punch its numbers up before like Solo, Deadpool 2, and other large movies would be coming out. And it hasn't really hit those marks. So I don't think it's going to, at least domestically, at all, reach where The Force Awakens hit. However, it did sort of explode in China.
It did, absolutely.
Over the weekend. We can talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, but now you're speaking of Solo. What all you take of the news stories that were coming out that advanced ticket sales were exceeding those of Black Panther?
Kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Yeah.
too. I'm like, really? I mean, there are plenty of Star Wars fans for sure, but I know a lot of Star Wars fans are being a little
Hesitant,
Yeah,
for
very
sure.
hesitant for sure. Said the exact same thing. You just said it just so right. Yeah, but just after, they're just different vibes of the new set of Star Wars, which some people are very divided on. I'm excited. I'm like, sure, why not?
Are you excited or you're just like, I will see it, but I'm not like, yeah.
Well, I think
That.
it goes with the maybe how you felt about The Last Jedi, which was very divisive for quite a few Star Wars fans, because there was the people who hated it with a passion, and then the people who really liked it, and there weren't totally a lot of people in the middle, though there were some. Rogue One was generally, most people were pretty positive, and then Force Awakens, most were pretty positive, like not quite so like, there's a line in the sand. So I feel some Star Wars fans are going into Han Solo going, well, it's not Harrison Ford, and no offense to everyone getting upset, but I'm really curious.
Well, I mean, I feel like, unlike Ewan McGregor being recast as Ben Kenobi, there's such an age gap between him and Alec Guinness that having it there, it wasn't bothersome for the fans. Like, oh, cool, we're seeing a younger version.
Yeah.
But now when you're seeing a Han Solo that's, relatively close to the age that he's supposed to be when we see him in Force Awakens,
Yeah.
recasting such an iconic actor in such an iconic role, I feel like is going to be a good testing ground for Lucasfilm and Disney to see if this is successful and people accept him. Does that open the door to possibly then doing earlier films with Leia or Luke? Does that open the door to recasting everybody?
Right.
Would you want to see everybody recast? Does a recast bother you, or do you like the original actors should be the only ones that ever play these characters?
A lot of people are excited they want a Lando movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, I forget his name, the guy who plays Han in the new Solo movie.
Aaron Reich.
Aaron Reich, yeah. From what I heard about early screenings, that he is the real deal. That he doesn't, he's actually plays the part super well, and it's great. But the other thing I've heard is that Donald Glover absolutely smashes it as Lando, which is a large pull for a lot of people to see this movie, is to see Donald Glover as Lando. And if that pulls through, and if he does a great job, and if Lucasfilm sees a viable option, then that'd be a cool side movie to have as a Lando movie.
Character we know that much about too, so that'd be fun to get way more backstory, because quite a few of the Skywalker line and everything, we get way more lineage.
I feel like this is one that they fall into. It's to get the project like this started. Han Solo is going to be the bigger name that's going to get people interested in wanting to do this. But then you all of a sudden you cast Donald Glover as Lando, and then you see what he does with the role, and you're like, after the fact, you're like, dang it, if only we'd known, maybe we should have just done a Lando-centric film,
Yeah.
and then had Han Solo just as a supporting character for that. But that's that's too late after the fact.
Right.
Well, it's interesting because not as many people are upset about young Lando compared to Solo.
I like that. Landau.
Landau.
Lando.
But
Lando.
Would that be interesting to you?
But there's far less people that are like, well, I don't know about that. I remember in Beautiful Creatures, the actor playing Han, I'm like,
Alden.
Thank you, Alden. When I first heard that, I was like, yeah. I don't know if he quite looks what I would think, but I felt he had the charisma in Beautiful Creatures. Which you guys probably all didn't see.
No, I unfortunately am a little hesitant just from everything we've seen so far, but I want to, again, be proven
I'll
wrong.
check it.
Yeah, I'll check it. I'll check it. Because that's how I talk. But yeah,
Very street of you.
No, thank you. Yeah. There's so much to really delve into Star Wars territory that I'm game for really anything that they give us, as long as it's not like the prequels.
Well, it'd be great because there is so much material, like novels, comics, shows, that they may as well go into brand new stuff, because clearly there's a market for people to watch Star Wars movies. So.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say to your original question, Frank. If we're bothered by them recasting older characters, it doesn't really bother me that they're recasting the characters. It sort of bothers me that they're not using other material from the Star Wars universe.
I would agree. I feel like it's lapsing into Star Trek, where let's stop looking backwards, let's look forwards.
Yeah, or even sideways.
Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, you can do a movie at the same time as A New Hope at a different part of the galaxy, and where nothing intersects at all.
Yeah, not true. I mean, I guess maybe that's kind of my one
That was kind
point.
of Rogue One. Sort of.
I mean, Rogue One, it ended and you're like, well, I know what's going to happen
Yeah,
next.
but it was other people, so.
Yeah. I want higher stakes, too.
They got the plans for the Death Star.
That's
Amy.
great. I
It
know.
doesn't get bigger than that.
It does. They made a second one, and it was 50% larger
And then they made it
and fully operational.
Then they made a planet. They did a planet.
And then they
know.
made a planet.
Yeah, I feel maybe that's the whole thing with these 9 films, at least the original or the 9 Star Wars films. I feel like it should be like a Skywalker story, so that Rey, Finn, Poe Dameron. It's like, I don't know. I rather would have focused on seeing the Skywalker stuff resolve, and then go off and do whatever you want with any other characters. But we've only just saw them kind of just as incidental characters or just supporting characters in what was predominantly their story. But that's a tale for another time. Right, Neil?
Sure.
Sure. What is the tale of time right now, though, is our number 2 pick, which is Life of the Party. 18.5 million. Look at that.
People went for that comedy over the Mother's Day weekend.
I almost saw it, which I think says a lot. Last week I was like, nah. But I almost, nah.
So what took you from nah to I almost saw it?
Some days, some weekends, you just want to watch something that's kind of stupid.
Like stupid comedy?
Yeah.
Just gave up.
Yeah.
Thanks. No, I just watch stuff on Netflix instead.
Sorry.
It's fine, you know.
No, it's true. There are certain times where, like, I've rented some, like, quality pictures. They're award winners. And you sit down and you're like, nope, not in that mood. I want something dumb and just funny, and you just zone out. And apparently that's what people wanted.
Yeah,
But, I mean, I can't totally come excited to see the movie, so I don't know how dumb it is, but...
Well, from the reviews that I was reading, it's saying it's not that great.
Okay.
That's pretty cliche, and Melissa McCarthy is just, she does what she can, but it's still just a kind of clunky script. So
Yeah, it's a bummer.
yeah. So Amy, are you now going after this? Like, I almost saw it to like, yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Well, no, because now next weekend we've got Deadpool there. So now I'm like, psh, sorry.
You still
Deadpool
have 5
mode.
more days before that happens.
Yeah, no, but weekdays, man, no. No, it's hard to
Weekdays are a
watch.
no.
Man, no, it's hard to watch movies during the
Yeah.
weekdays. So, but who knows? I might be spontaneous and try it.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
mean,
what a great first film to try that new mindset on.
Spontaneity.
The party. Number 3, Breaking In from Universal, $16.5 million. Everybody.
It broke in with 16.5.
16.5.
Boom. There you go. Neil, do you have some information you'd like to share with us?
I do. Breaking In was the subject of our box office bet. That's something that we do each week to determine with one movie that's a new release from each week, and we each bet on how much we think that movie's going to make. The person who is closest is named the prognosticator of prognosticators, and the person who is furthest away has to go see the movie and report back on how good or bad it may be. This week was Breaking In,
Beautiful.
$16.5 million, which is actually a very interesting number because that is the exact bet of one Kari Lane. Prognosticator of prognosticators, Kari,
And
how
that was, like,
heavy?
right on the spot,
Right
too.
on the
I don't
spot.
normally do a 0.5, but I was up 16.5. And I actually went and saw it, though, anyways, too. So
Oh.
I did. I was a hair underwhelmed. I wanted more from it because the trailer, you're like, yeah, this looks great. Like, the trailer totally sold me. I was like, I want to see this movie. I think Gabrielle Union's great. I think the kids are pretty cool. The villains are fine, but the problem is, like, you kind of want more information. You don't really get it. And there's also, like, a character that's more like the muscle of the group. But why do you need that if you think nobody's going to be at home and he's just kind of an annoying thing? Kind of has Home Alone vibe of, like, the traps or trying to get around and stuff. But
Give me one thing that is that hair that would have taken you from underwhelmed to just whelmed. What is that thing?
That's a quote from, it's that one movie that Gabrielle Union's in.
oh, really?
10 Things I Hate About You. Yes, exactly, yeah.
That was the problem. I was trying to really figure out what it was that would make it that, give it that oomph.
Give it that whelm.
Yes.
Okay, it's cool, but I think it'd be better to go with a little lower expectations than mine. Like, don't be super excited. Just be like, it's gonna be cool. An interesting choice for Mother's Day, but I thought it was. I liked it enough for sure.
Did you take your mom?
No, she wasn't able to go at that time, so I was like, never mind. I'm just gonna go.
Let's go see Breaking In, Mom. It'd be great.
Well, I was pushing that one instead of Life of the Party. I'm like, I'm not seeing that one.
No.
Fair enough.
So Kari was the top, Neil.
Kari was the top one. Second place was myself. I bet 17 million.
Yeah.
And then after that came Amy, 13.5. Very good job.
Thank you.
Frank hit a cold 13. And Tony B. Tony underscore with 12.5 million. The boy is going to the movies.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Zayas. I heard the villains were dumb AF in that film, but the kids in Union were awesome. So yeah, I'd say that's like the kids and the mom are really good. Like I like what they do with it. I like that where they go. But the villains, I would have wanted a little bit more because they also hint at a couple things, but then don't give you more. So then you're like, well, wait, what about that thing that you kind of mentioned that could be important? So that's maybe where it was like, yeah.
Now, Nella J in the comments says, I will go see Breaking In next weekend. Haven't seen the first Deadpool, so I have no interest in seeing the sequel. LOL.
What the
Well,
heck?
I feel like Deadpool is not a film that if you don't see the first one, that's fine.
yeah, kind of.
Don't let that discourage you from enjoying I don't know what it's gonna be like.
But I feel
haven't
that's
seen
a
it.
very
You don't know what to
It
expect.
still feels like a particular kind of superhero movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you don't like the swearing, the violence, and crudeness, then it's not your thing, which is fine. But that's what Deadpool is. So
But I would argue, you guys don't know me personally. I don't cuss. I don't do things like that, and I love Deadpool. So like,
but some
swearing
people
at
are
the
bothered
storms.
by it. Well, some
kidding.
people like they just
I
don't
can
like
see
watching
that.
it or bothered by it. Like I know some people are like, oh, they swore. I'm like, really? Wait. Everybody
good
has
movie.
their own preferences.
I agree.
Well, or crude humor if they don't think it's funny, or they're just like, oh, that's just gross. It's not funny.
I get it, but don't be discouraged. Like,
Go
Yeah.
check out the first one.
Hey guys, great
Yeah.
segue into that. Steve in the booth here.
What?
Just looking up some details with all AMC theaters. They seem to be doing a double feature for Deadpool upon its sequel's release. Tickets are on
Sweet.
sale right now.
Look at
Not
that.
sponsored.
Because Kari, you're saying, they might not want to see a super movie because it's got violence or whatnot. But Breaking In, there's violence in there, right?
Well, Deadpool violence is very specific and gratuitous and over the top, but that's the point. Like, that's why it's so awesome. It has the super hard rating. I mean, Breaking In's a different, more realistic violence too, which is kind of the struggle a little bit to watch it too. Is like if that your hero is like on the ground crawling away, and you're just like, no, I don't want you to be beaten up. But like Deadpool, it's just so out there and over the top. I don't know. The stakes are very different. As Amy likes to put it, like she wants higher stakes in a movie or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just different.
Revenge
big
is
or
a
go
mother,
home.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, that was like, all right, cool. It's interesting also seeing her as like a mom because like, Bring It On is one of the movies I loved her in. But I guess like that makes sense. Oh, a mom protecting child movie. I guess Star Drew says Panic Room. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I read that wrong. So it's interesting seeing her as like the mom role now, but I get she's older now, so it makes sense.
yeah.
She looks great.
She was great in that Jet Li film with what's his name?
I like
the
that
rapper.
you're laughing.
Yes. I know Neil knows this movie.
I do not know this movie.
I blanked on the rapper. I failed, everybody. I failed. Now we have to just move on. Pretend I didn't say
Anyway,
anything,
moving
folks. Where's my memory eraser? Coming in number 4 is Overboard, the Anna Faris film. Made another $10.1 million, surprisingly holding on strong in its
Yeah.
second week.
Again, probably stupid comedies.
But good for them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Actually,
I'm happy for them. I am.
a friend of mine on Twitter said that he took his mom to see Overboard this weekend and he enjoyed it. He thought it was a good comedy.
Cool.
See, I'm glad.
That's good.
I hope you get an ad in the trades to celebrate Overboard with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an ad in the
I'm happy
trade.
for
See?
that. That's good.
That's good.
Read with the most flat intonation possible.
That's cool. It's fine. I'm happy. I want everyone to be successful in movies, so that's good.
Yes.
And rounding out our top 5, A Quiet Place, another $6.4 million, bringing its domestic total up right now to $169.5 million.
Nice.
Look at them go.
It is the third highest grossing movie in the U.S. domestically this year.
Sweet. Go
Just
horror
behind
movies.
Infinity War and Black Panther.
Those are.
It's insane because
Good
that movie
list.
was made for
Romeo
like
Must Die.
$7 million.
They're going to say $7.
There you
It
go.
was made for 7 pennies.
7 pennies.
Thank you, Star Drew. Romeo Must Die. That was it.
Oh yeah, I do know that one actually.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you. Thank you for just leaving me out there to die, Neil.
Let me
Appreciate
just put in a little point. If we have time, I'd like to explain some box office statistics about Deadpool.
Ooh.
Maybe not right now if you don't want to.
I don't know. I feel like what's better time right now than to go to Neil's box office corner?
We can go there. So I was speaking with a friend this past week, and we're
We need
talking.
names where you don't believe this.
Yeah, we were talking about how Ryan Reynolds has a lot of control around the Deadpool movie, and I was saying how it's kind of like he is to Deadpool how like Robert Downey Jr. is to Iron Man. Mm-hmm. They can't really recast him; it'd be impossible to. He's sort of like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine. But then I was thinking, well, he's also like the writer and like one of the producers on the movie, so he's even more valuable. But then I started thinking, how valuable is the movie franchise numbers-wise against Iron Man? And so I was thinking, well, it might do a little bit. It might get up there on Iron Man, but Iron Man's like huge. It was big. It was like one of the biggest movies of the time. So I looked up the numbers on how Iron Man did. Iron Man, the first one, opened at 98.6, which sounds like a radio station.
It
Opened
is.
at 98.6, and it ran for 313, which is like, okay, that's a little bit lower than I thought. Because movies these days are opening up at like 120, stuff like that.
But given at the
Depends
climate,
what time of year.
Given at the time, that was back in 2008.
The first big superhero one
Exactly. Deadpool, on the other hand, opened at 132
in a while. Yeah.
and ran for 363 domestically. And so I was like, that is a lot more than Iron Man did. So then I went to Iron Man 2, opened at 128. Deadpool still beats it.
But I feel like the nice thing about Deadpool, it comes
he has
after
more.
you lay all this rail
Right.
with all these other superhero films. People are primed to see something different.
Right. So that's what I thought. That's what I thought too. And so then I was like, okay, what was like that? What was another Marvel movie or another superhero movie that would have changed the pace of what a superhero movie was? Guardians of the Galaxy. So and that came out around the same time. I think Deadpool came out maybe a year after that. So Guardians of the Galaxy opened at 94 and ran for 333.
But I think like with Deadpool, the thing is that the R rating, I think, drew a lot of people to it.
Right.
Because isn't it the highest grossing R-rated?
It is. Well,
I think
I
it's
don't
the
know,
highest
did
grossing R-rated. It might have surpassed
it. May have beat it.
But when Deadpool came out, I think it was the highest grossing rated R film. And also, isn't the only superhero one that's recent that's superhero rated R?
Oh, Logan was as well.
Logan, yes.
So then I looked at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Blade.
And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 did 146.5 opening weekend. So that beats Deadpool by about 10 million for the opening weekend. And then ran for 389, which beats its total run by about 20 million. Until you consider that Guardians of the Galaxy was made for about 200 million and Deadpool was made for 58.
That's awesome.
Go
Yeah.
Deadpool.
So Deadpool is crushing it. So I would argue that Robert Downey Jr. Ryan Reynolds is the most valuable superhero actor right now.
That's true.
You heard it here.
I mean, I feel like his singular voice. I mean, you feel like you have his voice coming through that franchise in more than a way than you may see. I mean, Robert Downey Jr.'s done his stuff for Tony Stark, but
Right.
in terms of having just a hand in shaping the entire film from beginning to end.
Well, in all the ad campaigns, they're just so funny, like little mini films that he's been doing, and that's teaming up with other people. Did you guys see the one with
Celine
Beckham?
Dion?
Yeah.
David Beckham, yeah,
And Celine Dion.
and Hugh Jackman, like the hotel room,
Yeah.
like. Come on, it's a good. We all know we want to see Deadpool, but it just helps keep that hype so high.
So, yeah, those are some
dive.
things that I discovered this week, and I thought I'd share it with the class.
Thank you.
Yay!
So
Thank you
informative.
for that, Professor
Good
Plumley.
research.
You're welcome.
Now, speaking of numbers here, Neil mentioned earlier, internationally, Avengers Infinity War opened in China and crushed there. It was the second biggest industry 3-day bow behind The Fate of the Furious. That helped push Anthony and Joe Russo juggernaut across the $1 billion mark at the international box office with $1,059 million to date. The estimated global total right now through Sunday is $1,606.8 million. Look at that.
What's good? Did someone say my name?
You know, the chat was missing you. They're like, "Where's Tony?"
I know. I'm here now.
Yeah.
Hello, chat.
Played favorites. We see we're re-ranking your life, Tony.
Oh, I heard I lost.
Yeah, you have to
You
go
did.
see
Yes,
Breaking In.
very much.
How do you feel right now? Breaking news. How do you feel about this,
I'm
Anthony?
ready to break in.
All right.
You sound pumped.
I'm gonna break in that chair when I'm gonna go watch Breaking In.
Is revenge a mother, Anthony? You'll have to let us know.
What was that?
That's their slogan. Like the ad is like, "Revenge is a mother."
Oh, that's right. That's funny because I saw a movie called Revenge earlier. Yeah, which was fantastic, by the way.
Which we'll talk on Horror Movie News tomorrow.
Yeah.
The worldwide weekend was worth
Day after tomorrow.
$343.1 million, which was fueled by China. And they basically have earned enough money that they've exceeded the entire runs of The Avengers, Captain America Civil War, and Iron Man 3. And they also have the number 9th Western release of all time in the Asian markets there for just 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Before the weekend, globally, Infinity War was sitting at number 11. It was just getting ready to trounce. I forget what the number 10 was at the time. The Last Jedi, I think it was. I think it was just getting ready to beat that globally. And then after this weekend, it went from number 11 to number 5.
Man.
It just exploded upwards.
Now, the big thing is, will Infinity War get to $2 billion? It's at roughly $400 million away from that benchmark, and it's a question mark. China will likely throw off another 1.5 multiple, but Deadpool 2 starts, so that's going to be maybe throwing off some international markets. Not China, though. And that's expected to do business. But if we're to look at dollars, Infinity War beat Fate of the Furious at the #1 opening weekend ever. Both movies include the now built-in ticketing fee that we've talked about before, but local currency is really what counts. So let's see. We'll see. Do any of you envision $2 billion in Avengers Infinity War's future?
I think it could. I think it's basically China would be its saving grace for getting that.
Yes.
I would hope so. I mean, to see something of this magnitude, like, in my lifetime is ridiculous because, like, when's the next time a franchise like this will be able to generate this much money in our lifetime? Like, I don't see anything coming up.
Avatar 2.
Except, okay, yeah, you probably got me there too. Yeah, so, but this is pretty exciting for just, like, history in film and, like, the box office, you know? I'm so down. I'm so ready for it to hit $2 billion, and I'm just going to be, like, put on my $2 billion pants that I own. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And dance around.
All right.
I have those too.
You have $2 billion pants?
do.
Oh, what color are they?
Red.
Oh, all right.
Perfect. That's a perfect color for a $2 billion pant.
Yep, perfect.
Popcorn tacos.
I got Deadpool fans. Maybe I'll wear this.
Well, if it gets past $2 billion and change, then it's going to be in contention for number 2 and number 3 on the all-time global cumulative list.
Are we now entering a place now where, like the Star Wars films, as everybody jokes now, especially since Disney bought them, is that we're going to see Star Wars films pretty much every year until we die? Do you feel that Marvel has entered that sort of category where we're going to see this? Or do you see 10, 15 years, the light kind of fades and they just kind of settle off into obscurity?
I think they might do a big gap like they did with Star Wars. Maybe, like, wait until people really, really want it. What was it, like 30 years or so that they waited in between? Something like that. But I think there's so much to really go into the Marvel properties that you could do a lot. I mean, like, Miss Marvel, they're gonna make a movie. So, like, there's so much to do. I think there's a lot of fans out there that would like something. If not every year, every few years, something.
I think it all depends on, because Kevin
Depends
Feige,
how they keep doing, for sure.
Yeah, I think Kevin Feige has a large part in how successful they've been, but depending on how long he wants to stay with them, and then who they'd have to replace them. Hopefully he'd have a big say in who his successor would be. You'd think.
Well, it's interesting because Kevin Feige at this point is invaluable because he's creating a new business model for franchise movies. But at this point, you can sort of already see the pattern of what he's doing. So now it's not like a totally out there idea for someone else to just do the same thing. Because he basically made a roadmap that you can trace back to comic book lines. So if you have another whole comic series, if 20th Century Fox doesn't get bought by Disney, they got blocked a little bit by Comcast recently. If that deal goes sideways and 20th Century Fox is a separate entity from Disney, then whoever's running that could do that with X-Men or Fantastic Four. And it wouldn't be that difficult.
Well, but then you look at Star Wars to Star Trek, where I feel like Star Wars has been much more successful since there's kind of been more of a focus on it, and Star Trek is, it's struggling to really latch on and really kind of get a hold in the box office, which is a shame. So I feel like I don't know if it's an easily replicable formula for another studio, even though the roadmap is laid out for them. Well, I guess we'll have to see.
I guess we'll have to see.
We will, Neil.
I think we will.
So, of course, those are international numbers. Now, we've also got 3 super hot films vying for your contention next week's box office bet. Super hot. So not surprisingly, we have this little indie film called Deadpool 2 taking off.
200 screens.
Yeah, there you go. I hope it can make it, guys. We'll see.
It might.
I'll be seeing that tomorrow night, guys, so I'll let you know how it is.
Maybe it's in with a chance.
That's true. I think it might squeak by. I'm thinking a number 4, probably. Sorry, Overboard. I don't know if you're going to be able to hold it. But so we've got, of course, we've got Deadpool 2, and then we've got Book Club with Diane Keaton.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That was one I'm like, I saw a poster for that.
Yeah, and then we also have Show Dogs as well.
That was one that was going to come out a while ago, and they pushed it back. I don't know if you guys remember when the trailer first came out. I mean, I love my animal movies because I'm like, oh, it's animals. But I wish I liked it better when we did Homeward Bound and they didn't actually talk with their mouths. But that's a whole other argument. But I remember that first trailer, and then it kind of disappeared, and then it popped up again. It's like, ooh, why'd they push it back so far? What was wrong?
I feel like Will Arnett has really dived into this kind of niche for himself, where he will be the only human amongst all these other sort of creatures. He did that with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now he's doing it with show dogs.
What's next?
Yeah, that's right. That is right. What's next? What's your triple play there, Will Arnett? What do we see? What other kind of creature do we want Will Arnett to be the only human being for?
Snakes.
On a plane.
What? So, and of course, we got Shaquille O'Neal playing one of the voices of the animals. So, get excited, guys.
That's just a big pull to theaters.
Yeah. So those are the 3 films vying for your box office bet vote. So feel free to start chiming away in the chat. But in the meantime, we'll do a little box office rewind about something. It's going to be one of the upcoming films. And that, of course, is our good pal, Deadpool himself, Wade Wilson, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ta-da! We will do his non-X-Men related films.
Perfect.
His top 5.
It is best to keep it that way.
That's right, yes. No surprise where they would probably end up on the list. But coming in there at number 5 for his non-X-Men related ones was the... there we go. 1, 2, 3. Is the Amityville Horror. Back from, 2005. Yeah, 23.5 million.
Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Amy.
He grew a beard for it, and he got really, really jacked for it, and he swung that axe around.
He did.
That
He
was
swung
cool.
it. Swung it all around.
Was his name Jack? Or Johnny? Sorry.
Swung his axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
Swung it at people.
I mean, you know...
I like
Anthony
the
and
original
Carrie,
better, but...
As our resident horror people, did you like it, or is it...
I haven't seen it. That's what I'm asking. That look.
I'd go with... I mean, I like the original better, but I think that was still not a bad update.
Yeah, I've seen the original. I haven't seen the recent one.
I actually have the original on VHS, and somehow watching it on that really makes it even better. That graininess works. So it's one of those like, when it gets too nice, you're like, no, it should be like kind of messy.
Tape starts tracking a little bit.
Yeah.
There's just something about like flies being around you at times. Like you're in a room, all of a sudden like flies, and then you look and there's like a million flies in a room.
It's like the fly.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I was looking up a movie that I'm like, this is not going to be on the list, but deep cut for Ryan Reynolds. Did any of you see Foolproof?
No.
It's Kevin, Sam, and Rob are founding members of a theoretical group which pull off heists. Leo, a gangster, blackmails them into pulling off a real multi-million-dollar heist. Now it's up to them to get out alive. It's just like kind of a goofy comedy with Ryan Reynolds. Came out in 2003. It's kind of very dated, like 2000 movie, but it was actually really fun, and he's super funny in it. So.
And who else is in that film with him?
Looks like female lead is Kristen Booth, and let's see, Joris Jarsky, Sean Sullivan, and then it was directed by William Phillips.
Yeah, all right.
But anyway.
All right, let's see.
You're like, moving on. There's other films?
I'm looking for Fulbright. That came in at number 26.
Oh, yay!
Number 26, everybody.
Well, I don't think box office-wise it did well, but it was just one of those, like, it's a fun comedic heist movie if you like heist movies and comedy.
All right, so given what Carrie said, I said number 26, just real fun, for fun of it. What do you think its opening box office weekend was?
$58,000.
All right, Amy?
53,000.
All right.
30,000.
I'm not going to even guess. Well, it came out in 2003, too.
30.
A whopping $230,312.
Wow. At least triple digit.
Yeah,
200.
That's not that bad.
They trick-gauged.
Now Amy really wants to see this. All right. There you go. Coming in number 4 for him there was The Proposal from Buena Vista.
That was a really good one.
Hey.
33.6.
No.
That was all right.
Is that with Sandra
I
Bullock?
remember
Yes.
liking it.
Oh.
I remember liking
That
it.
was really cute.
I don't remember being blown away by it.
It was alright, yeah. It was enjoyable.
Okay, the
I
girls
loved
are
it.
like, it was great.
That one part with Sandy.
Well,
Sandy with the window.
I think it's super cute.
It can't
But-
be better than Just Friends.
Well, funny thing. That was a really good
a
one.
lot of things are way better than Just Friends.
That's true.
Oh, no,
dare
Just Friends
you.
is so good.
It's
so
fine,
good.
but it's like cringy, which makes sense for it. But it's just,
With Anna Faris, oh my gosh, she's so good
with the
in that too.
toothpaste.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
well,
know
funny
you-
thing with Proposal, though, at the end when they're doing, like, the questions, anybody who's actually in a relationship, I try to answer some of those, because some of those I'm like, I would have no idea on these answers. Because they're like, well, what is the deodorant your partner uses? What is this? And it's just like, I don't know. Could you answer those questions, Neil?
Yeah, I can answer those.
Amy, can you
you're
answer
like,
those?
yeah.
That's weird.
Well, at
It's
least
not weird.
with the,
No,
It's
'cause-
intimate.
well, you share a space with
Yeah, but
them.
it becomes
share deodorant.
no big deal. Well, there's that.
Not
Because it's just
really.
there, so you don't notice.
Yeah. Well, I notice.
Because you're always analyzing
I'm
everything.
like, yeah, exactly.
Taking notes.
Anyway.
3:40 p.m. Need to buy more deodorant.
Courtney in the chat says,
exactly
love
what
the
I do.
proposal. Thank you. Yay.
There you go.
Coming in number 3 there from Safe House. Came out a couple years back there. Actually, 2012. That was longer than I thought it was.
Some people are like, Blade 3, yes.
Blade Trinity, that came in number 10.
All right. Wait, what about R.I.P.D.? A couple people bring up. That was fun.
We don't talk about that.
Hey, it was fun.
That was 13.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like that movie had an interesting concept, but just wasn't executed as well as it could have been.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Actually, number 2, Green Lantern.
Yay.
$53.1 million. 2011. I hated that movie. It made me so angry.
Oh,
Made everyone angry,
Lively.
right?
no.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's not as bad as everyone
don't-
says.
I don't
is.
plan on
No,
it.
no.
It is where everybody else. Hal Jordan is somebody that was selected to have the ring of the Green Lantern because he had the ability to overcome great fear. He had that within himself. The whole movie is him constantly being told by everybody else, "Hal, you're great. You know what, Hal? You were great. Shut up. Come on. It's supposed to be within him the whole time. He doesn't need all these other life coaches coaching him up. Ah, it's terrible.
With no association and knowing nothing about the comics or that character, I'd be like, it was fine.
Oh, yeah. And then Hector Hammond, a worst choice to have for your villain. And then as well as Parallax. That is just too bizarre of a concept to try to fit into your first film as Green Lantern. Oh, yeah. So
Give it to him, Frank. Give it to him.
And then Mark Strong, Sinestro, great. But then they do this thing in the credits. Where
Tell
they
us how you really feel.
they make him Sinestro right. They turn him evil right there in the like as a mid-credit bump scene there. That's a whole second film.
Yep.
But I mean, of course, we're never going to get a second film. But that's how it should have been treated. You could have had the fall of Sinestro. It would have been a great story arc, and then the third one is the two of them battling. But so
And there's your extra large beef burrito.
That's right.
Served up by Frank.
Extra beef.
And then number 1 for him, that's not Deadpool related, but sort of, X-Men Origins Wolverine from 85 million back in 2009, where we got to see his first iteration of Deadpool, and then he gets his mouth sewn shut. So
Merc with a mouth without a mouth. Are you kidding me, man? It's in his
Yeah.
title.
Yeah.
That's how bad they screwed up.
Will.i.am as a teleporter. Boy,
Bonkers.
that movie is just bad from beginning to end.
Gambit.
Oh, that was
They
bad.
ruined
Ugh.
Remy.
I liked Gambit being there,
Yeah.
but then I didn't like
Gambit.
Yes.
Yeah. No accent. What is the accent?
I mean,
Gambit's like one of my favorite, like, especially childhood crush comic book characters. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Same.
hey.
with his
And,
black
yeah,
eyes.
Black with the red, yeah. And then you're just like, who is this schmuck? This guy sucks. And you're like, no.
it was just bad from beginning to end. That was a shame. It was, but from that to imagine we get to Logan. So we finally at least got one great Wolverine movie out of that whole thing. I guess the Wolverine was
It was fun.
okay.
Wolverine was okay.
It started good, ended badly. I thought.
Ended weird.
It got a little wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Towards the end there.
But now with the little box office rewind, before we wrap up, we got to do our next week's top 5, adding in, of course, the 3 films that we were mentioning earlier.
Can you say them one more time?
Oh yes, we've got Deadpool 2. We've got this
Dog.
Book club.
Show
book club, and
Show
Show
Dogs.
Dogs.
Show Dogs.
Oh boy, yep.
Wow, I think that's going to be really difficult, guys. I don't know.
Book club only on 2,500 screens.
But-
Show Dogs 3,000, and Deadpool 4,200.
Book club looks like the moms and book club ladies and some gentlemen as well. Like, that's
Yeah.
seems right up a certain alley of.
It's a good bit
pretty
of
proud.
counter programming. You're right.
And then, yeah, exactly. It's just something different when people want something else. But Deadpool, definitely number 1.
But do you think Show Dogs is counter? I mean, are people? I mean, I guess you want to have
Family
something for
film.
kids. Yeah,
It's
but
a family one.
but even
Deadpool 2 is not family.
No.
no.
Ken Jack in the chat says Deadpool, Avengers, Life at the Party, Breaking In, and then Show Dogs.
I'm pretty sure Deadpool 2 is a family movie.
Nah.
It is all
An
about
interesting
family.
kind of family.
Yeah. The family
Yeah, that'd be a cool. Well, it depends what age the family is too.
Deadpool,
How young are the
Too
kids?
Fast, Too Furious.
It's a
all
story
about
of
family.
the X Factor family.
X-Force.
Right.
X-Force.
X-Force, thank you, sir.
X Factor.
I
I'll
guess I
go
was
with
thinking of
Deadpool.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Oof. Yeah,
I mean, I really haven't heard anything about show dogs or book club at all.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
Wait, what the hell is Show Dogs?
That's when I was saying they had trailers and ready to push it out almost like a year ago or something. I feel maybe that's a little too long, but I remember I was excited because in the trailer the dog's like, "What are you doing?" and he gets like a wax, and you're just like, "That just is absurd." And but it's kind of funny on the trailer. But
I guess a lot of it depends on how well you think Life of the Party or Breaking In are going to hold up in its second week.
They won't.
They won't, but will the other ones surpass it?
I don't think I just don't think Show Dogs at all. Even though it's more screens
Even
of
though
book clubs,
family.
I can see Book Club doing better than Show Dogs.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's. If I did Deadpool, Avengers.
right, it's like it's raw.
I don't know if I. Do you see, like, even Book Club doing better than Life of the Party in its second week? I mean, the reviews haven't been great for Life of the Party. Even if it drops half.
Sure. Well, let's do a curveball.
That'd be 9.
And then I'll say Life of the Party for Book Club for 3. Let's throw Show Dogs in number 4 because family, and then 5 Life of the Party. Bump things down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like to make some crazy
Look at
predictions
that. There you go.
sometimes. You know?
I'll go Deadpool, Avengers, Book Club. Then I think I'll go Left the Party. And I guess I'll do Breaking In. Ugh.
That's what I was going to say.
Don't
Sounds like pulling teeth.
don't celebrate that. Do not celebrate
Paul
that.
Jones in the chat says Deadpool, then Avengers, Life of the Party, Breaking In, and then Book Club. All right.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say.
Yeah, I was just
Right on.
agreeing with you, Frank.
That's the first
we
time
got,
she's
like,
ever
3
done that.
That's a lot.
Does not happen often.
First time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us now to do the box
I'm
office bet.
scared.
It's time to
For
bet.
the film that you, the live chat audience, have bet on. We'll find out what that is in just a moment. But while we're waiting for those, we'll remind everybody of what the box office bet. Neil did it so eloquently at the beginning of the show.
No.
Yes, you did. We're all going to bet on whatever film you in the chat room have bet on, chosen for us to bet on. Whoever gets closest to the actual box office opening gross will be the prognosticator of prognosticators. The loser will have to go see the film and tell us all about it.
Yep.
True.
That wasn't nearly as good as what you did, Neil.
I thought it was better than
No.
what I did.
Yeah, you put on a clinic at the beginning of the show.
Oh.
No.
Oh man,
No,
Man, you
guys.
all are over the place. It's great.
Oh, okay.
go big and bet on Deadpool
Sandra
2.
says Show Dogs won by 2 votes, but then 3 people voted for Deadpool,
Yeah. What?
and then there's another Show Dogs. I don't know.
Hey,
Well,
Janet.
So be kind to us, though.
Cast your votes now, people.
Janet
So,
Mouse,
good.
I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to go see Deadpool 2, so you should still vote on it.
They will already be seeing.
Still vote on it, people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's.
Both Amy and I are like our hands like,
I'm
"Ah."
also cold.
I'm about to start
But
praying.
it's AC.
I don't.
Ooh man, this is hot. We'll give another 30 seconds for this vote. These votes.
30 seconds, you got.
30 seconds, Anthony, and then we'll
Here
call
you
it
go.
right there.
30
Yes.
seconds.
And keep an eye on that chat, Anthony. Let us know. Please tell me it's leaning. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. And for those of you who are like, what are they doing? So we're looking over at a screen that has the live chat up where everybody's placing their bets or
Don't bet.
putting up what movies they want us to go see.
Oh, Dogs by Star Trek.
Stop.
Okay.
How
many?
Oh.
5, 4,
oh!
3, 2,
Come on, give us
one.
a Deadpool.
Okay.
And the voting's closed.
Okay, and the tally?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were counting.
Oh, thanks, Anthony. Well,
Oh my
Who's
god.
gonna
Oh,
tell
man.
us, guys?
well, I feel like they say Show Dogs, and then all of a sudden I see.
I see a lot of Deadpool on there.
Deadpools.
I see a lot of Deadpool. Yeah.
Or Deadpool, Show Dogs 3, Book Club 1.
Thank you, Ken Jack. All right, for being honest. Deadpool. Well, this could be exciting, too, because we're doing the big bet numbers, which was suggested
true.
as well. So, sorry, Neil, what was the Deadpool 1 opening weekend number again, please?
If I remember right,
So
it was
like
132.
132?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh
Do
my.
we think it'll be a lot
Jeez.
higher?
200 million.
Do you think it tops Avengers Infinity War?
Which was...
First opening?
Yeah.
No. Maybe.
Remind us what that number was.
That was 158? Wasn't that 158?
It's higher than that, wasn't
I
it?
thought it was 6.
168. No, it wasn't that high.
No.
Well, I think it was 158, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
If only there was a way we could look on
Look
the
that
internet.
up, yeah.
If there only was a way.
All right, so...
Avengers Infinity War, on its opening, it made...
257.
For, I guess, the opening weekend, 257 million. That was delightful. All right. Anyway.
You must have forgot.
I must have forgot.
Ones and twos are different.
I guess, yes. That's
Sure.
true. Whoops.
So that number again, more officially?
That was 257.
To answer your question, Frank, I don't think it will
No.
beat
No.
Infinity War.
No.
That's correct, Neil. That is absolutely correct. All right. Well, let's...
Just as a hunch.
Yusuf says 257. I think you're aiming a bit high. But...
I think he was
I
trying
like
to tell us what.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say, I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. Okay, thank you. 257. Thank you very much, chat.
Dang.
you, Yusuf. Ken Jack says 135 for Deadpool 2.
all right. Boom, boom, boom.
I already did mine.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bum, 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 bum. Anthony, are you ready, sir?
Zaya says 140.
2 seconds.
Yeah, keep
2
chiming in
million.
the chat too. And then if you're watching this later, you can still comment your predictions as well down below. But just make sure you do it before that weekend. Can't cheat and add it later.
I think I'm feeling what everyone else is feeling.
Paul Jones says 115. All right, a little lower.
Search your feelings, Anthony. You know them. to
Go
be
with your
true.
gut.
Oh, 150, 175.
All right, I got it. I
150.
got it.
I
Channel
love it.
Epic says
What's up,
175. Courtney 150.
I'm going with the cool 165.
Ooh. All right.
165.
Oh, Kari Lane,
Is that what you-
165.
Yes, that's what I put.
Oh,
Twinsies.
Oh, my goodness.
twinsies.
Amy Cassandra Martinez.
Oh, 140.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
140.
There you go. I went 160 myself.
Okay.
Okay. The 60 family.
160
Yeah.
mil.
I feel
Looks
like-
like I'm on the top end with 168.5.
Whoa!
Rory says 140 in the chat.
Twinsies.
Dean Smith in chat says 130.
Roughly.
Roughly, yes, I like that.
I feel like if you did,
Roughly.
Thank you for your suggestions. It's a fun game for all of us.
I think with 132,
Yes.
I think this one has got a lot more.
I think it will go
it's gonna
more
do-
for
yeah.
sure because
Oh,
you
yeah.
get enough people that are like, "Oh, the first one was so good," and their ad campaign has been on point. They're excited for number 2.
Yeah, more people can like jump on too. I'm sure there's people out there be like, oh yeah, I haven't seen Deadpool 1. Here, let me show it to you, and then let's go watch Deadpool 2.
Yeah, and there's also more like superhero people.
Yeah.
Because before it's like 2 others, and now it's like it's a team.
There's Terry Crews, everybody.
Yeah. So
There's
This
Peter.
is true.
I love that.
It does get me. I got type 1 and type 2 diabetes. I'm like, all right, I'm in for you, Peter.
And
I got-
Domino. About time we get some Domino.
That's Zazzy.
Table.
Sassy Zazzy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us for this episode of Box Office
Yes.
Breakdown. We appreciate everybody hopping in the chat. We couldn't do the show without you because you make our betting life happen. But if you want to continue supporting the show, you can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give a thumbs up, just like that. Thumbs up, like
up.
all these thumbs up.
Thumbs
Just
up.
do that. And Kari, if they're watching this even after we stream live, what can they do?
Y'all can comment down below.
Is there anything you want them to comment about?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of. Well, we kind of asked beforehand which movie were you of the 2 Mother's Day movies were you seeing for Mother's Day weekend? What did you end up seeing, or did you just watch something totally irrelevant because you didn't care about the holiday?
Oh, there you go. Or also go to our, check out my Twitter. I took a great behind-the-scenes photo leading up to this episode of Box Office Breakdown. Share what
It's
other kind of great
glorious.
photos you'd like
Yep.
for us to take leading up to the next episode. We cater to you.
Great
That's right.
photo, for sure.
Just describe what you want us
Lovely.
to do in those photos, what kind of expression you want us to make. We will deliver. But if you want to continue the conversation with any of us, even after the shows air live, Anthony, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me everywhere at Tony B Tony _, and there's my lower third because I'm slow. Tony B Tony _ just like how you see it on your screen right now if you're not looking.
Please tell me you put like a headshot of yourself as well, in addition to the lower third. I just want like a gray headshot of you just floating in above that.
I can, but it'll turn people to stone.
I would take that risk.
Great grandmother's Medusa.
Perfect.
Neil, about you, where can they find you, Neil?
Thanks, Frank. You can find me at the Neil Plumley. That's TheNeilPlumley. Come on Twitter and follow me, and then unfollow me because I say divisive things.
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ.
Nailed it.
Thank you. Also, you guys can watch Screen Junkies News tomorrow at 11 Pacific Standard Time. I will be there, talking movie news and stuff. So, yeah, feel free to follow me, whatever, subscribe, all that jazz.
All right.
You're just adorable.
No, thanks.
And my name's Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And I just posted a bunch of interviews on the Popcorn Talk for Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival opening and closing night red carpet.
And follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. I wish I had photos that I could have posted. But
you did.
I did post one, yeah. Oh, right, you know what? Check out my interview with Vaughn Stein, everybody, of a new film called Terminal. There you go.
With
Anthony,
Margot Robbie.
With Margot Robbie, Simon Pegg, and Mike Myers.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. They were all in studio with me. Watch it. You'll see. It's great. Believe me, it's fantastic. All right, everybody. We'll see you back here next week for another episode of Box Office Breakdown right here on Popcorn Talk. We love you. Go see movies.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.